Welcome back to the Webleedpixels podcast. I'm your host T.
And I'm your co-host V.
Hi V.
Hi T.
What have you been up to in the past? Oh, it's been 2 weeks.
It has been 2 weeks. I have been playing some little games. As the title may suggest, this week we're talking about indie games. So that's a lot of what I've been playing this week.
To be fair,
What have you?
same. I've been playing just indie games, I think.
It's been 2 weeks of indie.
It has been 2 weeks of indie. Me because Binding of Isaac got released, a new
Oh
I
yes.
say new, but it's not new on PC, but it was new for consoles. It's called Binding of Isaac Repentance. And oh my goodness, it is amazing. It's everything which you want from a Binding of Isaac, plus a load of mods which the community made for the game, and the devs decided to add it all into one giant Binding of Isaac experience.
I think that's so cool. Like I obviously you've streamed some of it, so we had some people saying like, "Oh, these new bosses that you're fighting, these were actually creator mods," and I think that's really cool that they incorporated those. Okay, here's the thing. That's really like the indie experience, I guess, if you will, of like, because like, what big company do you know that's gonna be like, "Oh, hey, this modder over here, we're gonna like incorporate this boss that they made into our big game." Like, I just think it's really cool that the company made this game with so many elements made by, I guess, fans. You'd have to be a fan, I'm assuming, of Binding of Isaac to mod it that much.
Yeah, one of the bosses is Bumbo, and oh my goodness, that is difficult to defeat. That's a mod. Whoever modded Bumbo in, I kind of hope that you step on Lego. It is disgusting to defeat. I hate going up against Bumbo. Every time I see it says, "Hey, Isaac versus Bumbo," I'm like, mm-hmm.
In other words, you did a good job creating a horrible boss.
Yes, even better. Yeah, because it's. I would put it up there with trying to defeat Isaac or Satan or even maybe Hush. It's a horrible boss, but
But you get it done though.
yeah, oh yeah, it takes a lot of hearts, but I get it done. It just depends on the build though. But I honestly, I have been fully developed inside Binding of Isaac. As soon as it came out, that is it. That is all I've been playing. Like, move over Dead by Daylight. I've got Isaac by Daylight.
Right? We really haven't been playing Dead by Daylight. You've been stuck on Isaac.
Well, it's because there's so much of it. Like, I honestly believe, like, I can see why it got the title of like the best indie game, because there's just so much which you have to do. Like, because you go from just defeating Mum to then defeating Mum's heart to then defeating say Mum's heart, and then you can do like boss rush, and then you can go from defeating Mum's heart and doing boss rush to then you can go up against Hush, and then you can go up against, say, then after you do Hush, you get a choice to go up against either Isaac or Satan, and then after that you can do Blue Boy or Lamb. But then also included with that, you can do Mega Satan and you can do Delirium and whatever else they threw at me. I don't know where it ends.
It doesn't.
You just keep going. There's just a game going on forever. Like some of the games which you play can take like an hour because that's literally just one like game, because that's how
Jeez.
far you can get. Like if it's on the hard mode, you can be anything for like an hour to like an hour and a half. Depends on your build as well.
So for me and anyone who doesn't know, what is one game? Like when you're saying one game can take an hour, what does one game entail?
One game entails where where you start with, say, inside the basement and you go down into either versing Blue Boy, the Lamb, or Mega Satan, or Delirium, and then whatever else could entail. So like you go like, so basement 1, 2, and then you go like cave 1, 2, then the depths 1, 2, then Mum's like womb 1, 2, and then you would go into either trying to defeat Satan. So you go down to the shoal, or you go up to the cathedral, and then you would go into what's it called after the cathedral? There's a place where you go after the cathedral, which you could either defeat Blue Boy, or you can defeat the Lamb. And
So
then
one game is basically this like set of rooms and bosses that you get through. There's a final boss, and then that's like you defeat that, and then that's the game, and then you would move on to the next.
yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how far they go with it now because there's Delirium, and then there's like other bosses. I think after Delirium, so I'm not quite sure how far they go because I don't know.
It's been interesting to watch though. I'm excited to see you do more of it.
Thank you. I'm excited to play more. Like I just want to play. That's all I've been doing. Like I did play Unpacking, but I'll let you talk about Unpacking because I know that you played it as well.
I did. It was really fun. You told me about it. I mean, obviously I heard you like we were on the phone when you were playing it and it sounded cute, fun, whatever. You kept saying how like calming and how chill of a game it is. So I got it and I completed it. I did it in 2 days, I think. Um so it is really quick, but you're right, it's so chill. I love the like that you can piece together the story of it. So like all you're doing is unpacking this woman's belongings for each different place that she moves to. So it goes through her life. It's her childhood bedroom and then college dorm and so on. And this whole like beautiful story unfolds. I mean, you heard me talking about it of like, oh, now she's with this like nasty boyfriend, their vibes don't match, whatever. And then she got with someone else and it was like, oh, like look at them, like their vibes match. They have like similar tastes and things. And it's just really it's a fun little game. It's really nice to do. It's very calming. The music is nice. But also to see how this story like plays out is really interesting because you'll see kind of like what stage of life she's in one place that she's living, and then you want to know what the next is going to be. Where is she going to be living next? Who will she be with, or what will she be doing? And it was just really nice. A nice, quick little, I don't know how many G it was, but
It was
a
a
quick
thousand
little,
G.
okay, yeah. So a quick little easy game to
Boost
get
that
some
achievement
achievements
score.
on. Yeah.
Did you find yourself judging her a little bit of how she packed? Because I judged her when she packed the keyboard with the toiletries.
I judged her because that's what I said. I was like, girl, like, you, what are you doing? Not labeling your boxes. You have like rando stuff with your kitchen box. This box is in the kitchen, should be labeled kitchen. And here I am pulling out,
Clothes.
whatever that doesn't belong in the kitchen.
Yeah, I see. Playing through it, I was like, okay, I'm judging you a little bit because of the items which you have and where you've packed these items. Like, I get it if you're rushing to pack your boxes, but come on, like a keyboard inside the toilet box. What are you gonna do?
That's fully me judging her packing, not at all the game or the devs or anything, because obviously they do that as like part of the game challenge of like, oh, this thing doesn't belong in this room. Let me figure out where it does go. Um, but yes, fully like not judging them at all, but fully judging this girl being like, why do you keep collecting these stupid miniature chickens?
I think
And
that's
why
symbolism.
why are you putting them in your bathroom box?
I think that it's symbolism because if you, I think it's the level where she gets with that nasty guy, you get a like a evil looking chicken. So I think
Oh.
that it's symbolism because it starts with her, it starts with a big chicken and then and then one teeny chick, and then it moves on like throughout the game, and then you end up with what like 8 chicks.
Yes, something like that would make sense. I was just like, oh my gosh, why does she keep collecting these tiny chickens?
She traveled. She went around the world.
She did. That was also really cool to see, is that it's like a lot, it's really cute how there's so many things that she has kept with her throughout the whole time. That stupid purple thing, ugh, I wanted her to get rid of it. But there are so many things that she kept with her the whole time. Like she had this little, I don't know, you would know what it is, but a little like Game Boy looking thing or a little like because
Yep.
it starts in I think 1999, or
1997.
97. Yeah, and so she has this little like handheld gaming thing, and she like carries that with her throughout all the years. So it's really cute to see like what things she's like held on to. There are definitely things that she got rid of, that she grew out of, and then the things that like she collects. Like yes, you can see wherever she's traveled, because for each place that she goes, she collects a little something. So she has like the Eiffel Tower, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. She has a double-decker bus.
She has
So
that
it's
from
really
the
cool.
start though, the double decker bus.
Yeah, but it's really cool to just see like I said, this whole story unfold, and like for as simple as it is, like I'm sure people just blasted through it, unpacking, getting achievements, whatever, but it's like there's a really like beautiful story, and like you really get to know this woman whose belongings you're unpacking and the people that she surrounds herself with, and you kind of see into her life solely based on where she's living and what you unpack from these boxes.
Yeah,
It was great.
because you can tell, or like when she moves in with the guy, it's all like fancy and like he makes her put her stuff underneath the bed and like stuff like
Her
that.
diploma.
Yeah, I reckon it's because it's an art diploma, but you was kind of forced to hide her belongings, and then
Mm-hmm.
when she then moves out and she moves into that like crummy like 1 bedroom apartment, it's like it's crowded, so she takes all of her belongings and you struggle to put them in places,
But
but
they're all out. Like you
yeah,
have then it's like this is fully her, and it's all like out and it's able to be showcased.
like every item has its place like inside her life, but oh, the music as well, the
Oh
music is
my gosh, the
so good.
music.
Did
And the
you
music.
the song
Oh,
at
go
the
ahead.
end as
Oh, I
the
didn't listen to it.
what? No, as the credits, you have to. As the credits roll, listen to that song. Please listen to that song. It will make you
I
fall in
could
love even more with the game.
I'll have to go back and listen to it, but when I started it, it kind of made me sad because it's like it's a cute, but it's like kind of a slow song, so it made me sad because like oh the game's over, so I had to turn it off because I was like sad that I finished the game. But the music throughout the whole thing, like that also is a huge part of the story because you can tell kind of what is happening in her life based on the music. Like when she has to move back into her childhood bedroom, the music is really like sad and down. And then gradually as she starts like put her life back together, it picks up again and you get the like happier music.
Yeah, and then oh, the final level music.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so nice. When her life is just like complete and happy and beautiful, and it was such happy music. It was perfect.
see, what I really liked about it as well was like because after I started playing it, I had a couple of people on Twitter because I tweeted out about it and said this, if you really want a nice, chill, relaxing game, get unpacking. Like I added the devs because I really wanted them to know like how much that I really enjoyed this game. And then I had people like comment saying, "Oh, I've been looking at this game, but I don't know whether or not I want to get it." I was like, "No, honestly, get it. It's a perfect game. Like the music blends really well with it. It's just a nice, relaxing game because we don't always want to be able, we don't always want to shoot zombies or be really stressed out running around inside a match or like some AAA title. Like sometimes you just need a nice relax and chill game just to boost yourself back up into gaming. And I feel Unpacking has that really cool like potential to get you back like after you complete a AAA title and and you go through like this really emotional story and or you didn't get the ending of which you hoped to get or you didn't get the ending which you thought was going to happen. It's nice to go into a nice little chill indie game and just relax for a little bit, and Unpacking really serves that purpose. Like it really helps you then get back out there onto like another game, because you unpack her life and you see her life and you kind of like you feel like, hey, it's not so bad. Look, if she can pick herself up so many times, I can do it again. Like, I know that seems silly to say, but do you know what I mean? With games where you go through like the emotions inside like a story, especially if it's a heavily driven story game. You go through the emotions inside that story, and then what do you do afterwards once it's done? You just sort of like sit around and you mull around for a little bit.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
unpacking gives that perfect like balance of between games.
Yeah, it does. I just think anyone could and should play it. I think
Just don't
even
look at the
like,
reviews on Steam because somebody is hating on it because it was too short.
which is stupid. Like, if you want a longer game, go play a longer game. Go play Skyrim or something. But like, I think, yeah, it's like you said, like of course it's quick, but like if you're just kind of like in a gaming funk and don't really know what to do, or like you just want to get some quick, easy achievements, like this is great. If you're feeling any kind of like anxiety or depression or something and just need kind of like a happy little escape and need to just like chill, this is really great for that, I think.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's really nice because you kind of like forget about your life and stuff around you because it developed and you're focused onto this person's life and unpacking their belongings and like I don't know, kind of like every item of which I was picking out, I was like, oh, why would she have that? Or, oh, that's cool. There was like because you could tell that she was a gamer as well, and you can tell that the devs in mind are highly focused on Nintendo because all the way through the game they was dropping hints with Nintendo. They threw the Game Boy to then the Game Boy Advance, and then they had a Game Boy DS. Oh, well, not a Game Boy DS. I sound silly whenever I say that. Then they had a DS. They had a GameCube. There was a Wii, and I think there might have. I don't know whether there was no, there wasn't a Switch, but like, and she kept all this stuff like through her life. Like all of her little like Nintendo games. And like,
Hmm.
and that's a really cool nod to Nintendo. And of course, it did release on Nintendo as well. The only place where it never released was PlayStation.
Oh.
It come out obviously Game Pass on Xbox, then Steam for £15, and I'm guessing Nintendo for £15 as well. But it was like
Okay.
it's like a really nice nod to Nintendo. Like, hey, thanks for like I'm guessing that they had Nintendo in mind when they made the game because I'm guessing loads like the devs of this game are highly Nintendo based and they play Nintendo.
Hmm.
And it's just nice to see, like all your old like kind of classics coming out.
Yeah.
But inside someone else's life. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just such a fun game.
It was. It really was. And there's so much detail in the game, just like little things of like, I don't remember what I said, but it was like, oh, like I do this or I've done this, like with the things that I have or how I lay them out or the way that they're packed or whatever. Like there's so much detail and little details and things that go into it. And it was a really great little thing to play for those 2 days and kind of just chill for a little bit.
There's nice detail in it with the little semi like Easter egg slash achievements of where if you put the cookie jar on the top shelf, that's an achievement.
Mhm.
And sticking
Yeah.
say I put like I didn't mean to put them in there, but I put the hair straighteners inside the sink just as like a placeholder, and I got an achievement for it. And it's like,
Yeah, it was
oh,
yeah, I think mine was I did the toaster because I know that it's like you're supposed to place something in a like dangerous spot where it doesn't belong. So obviously like you put the hair straightener in the sink, I put the toaster in the bathtub. Um
but yeah, and it's just like that's just such a cool little thing, because I was only literally putting it there because I just wanted to finish unpacking this box because it was nearly done. So I was like, okay, I'll get this box out the way and then I'll move on. And what I done is then like I quickly put them in there, and then it was like boop achievement. I was like, oh, but I don't know. It was just from the music to the aesthetics to how the game looks, how the game runs, the storyline inside the game. Even though there's not much storyline, but there is a storyline. It's really a fantastic game. My only regret
Yeah.
is I finished every level inside the bathroom, so I didn't actually get to take because you get to take a picture of the level after you finished it. And my regret is because I always ended up in the bathroom at the end. It was always like, oh boy, a new bathroom. Oh, I love showering with a view. And it's like my whole
I
thing
don't
was always inside the bathroom.
know how you did that. Mine was always a different room
I
because I would
don't
scroll
know.
through. I would scroll through and just go in order of each room, and then usually it was like the bedroom, the kitchen, or the living room that had something wrong. So I'd have to go back to it and correct it, and then it would take the picture.
I'm guessing mine was always the bathroom. There was always one item wrong inside the bathroom. So it would. So I have a photo album full of bathrooms. At least I'm consistent with the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
pictures. But oh, it was just so nice. Like indie games bring something to the table, which not a lot of like other games. Well, I can say now that not a lot of AAA games really grab me like an indie game grabs me now.
Yeah,
Like
same.
from Stardew Valley to Binding of Isaac to Unpacking. I would even consider I Am Fish to be an indie game. Like, and yes, it
Mm-hmm.
was stressful and annoying, but it grabbed my attention. Like a game which grabs my attention. It's like Valheim. That is an indie game.
Well, all week I've been playing Sunhaven. Obviously it came out, I started it, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done on it, I think. So we waited a long time, and then I finally have just come back onto it, and it's been great. I've been playing that all week and really enjoying it,
I was
and
gonna say
really
you've been
enjoying
playing that
getting
like
back into it.
you've been playing that a long time. Every time I see on the Discord, it's Bees playing Sunhaven.
Yeah. I don't know how many hours I have on it so far, but it's been a lot of fun.
The bigger question is how many hours have you slept since you played it?
I'm sleeping.
In game doesn't count.
There's still more to come on it. They're definitely adding things. There are some things that say like coming soon. So I'm really excited for some future updates and patches. But like even still, I haven't run out of things to do in the game. I think there was one area where it said like I had completed all the things in that quest line so far, but to keep an eye out on the patch notes because they'll be adding more to it. And that was just one. I have a whole other quest line to do, plus just daily things. I mean, the farming and taking care of my animals and everything else that I have to do takes up time. And I'm not running out of things to do. I'm not like, oh, well, without these quests, I have nothing to do.
That was
Like,
only
the
last night
quest
as well.
yeah, only last night did I get that quest completed to the point that it's been added so far. Um, and like I said, I've been playing all week, and so I had only just gotten that quest completed last night. And then everything like there's still another one that I can do, plus just like daily quests of like the Stardew type tasks of like, oh, this person needs this, or there's the quest board like, okay, this person wants this made, and those ones are timed. There's still areas that I need to explore. There's always bosses, or not bosses, but like the stupid monkeys. There's always like enemies and things that I can fight. Yeah, so there's just so much to do. I'm enjoying it. Every day I go on, and it's something to do. It's not like, okay, I've reached a point where I have a lot of money, my things are making themselves. I have nothing left. I haven't reached that point, and I kind of don't foresee myself reaching that point, especially not with them going to continue to add things.
Depends on how quick they can add stuff in though. But although I must say that when because I played it a little bit last night, and they have added a lot of stuff from when we first played it. I mean, the town actually looks like a finished town because it
Hmm.
didn't look like that before. There was only what 4 shops I think, but now you've
Yeah.
got I know that the hairdresser is coming soon. It says, but now you've got like a pet store. There's a clothing store. There was a record store and a plant store,
Hmm.
and there's a hairdresser still to come. But it's like so it is crazy, like the level of detail which they've done, and they've added a map. Finally, they've added a map. because
The map is so helpful.
oh yeah, because that was one of the first things which I said to them. I said, hey, because I tweeted them like because they had like this little like Q&A on Twitter, and I was like, so then I tweeted them saying, would it be possible to add like a mini map or a map inside the game? And they was like, yep, we'll work on that. So in a way, it's kind of cool because like that map is there a teeny weeny, because I don't know how many other people asked about a map, but that map is there a little bit because of me.
It's all because of you. T
No.
said, hey, I want a map.
Oh
They
god.
said, hey, there's a map because of T. All you.
I am the map maker. No, but like, do you know what I mean? Because you would never get that with a AAA game. You would never get a AAA game so focused around their audience to add stuff in with their audience. You look at, I'm going to talk about it a teeny bit. I know that it's meant to be indie games, but Call of Duty Vanguard got released on Friday, on the 5th of November, and I buy normally the Call of Duty games every year. This year, I'm not buying the Call of Duty game because it doesn't feel or look like a brand new Call of Duty game. The zombie mode looks horrible. It's not like the rounds. Because when Cold War released, I got to round 70 only using a knife.
Yeah.
There are no rounds in this one. It's Outbreak.
Oh.
It's Outbreak, and Outbreak is, in my opinion, the worst thing which I could add to to zombies. There's no Easter egg for zombies until 2022. I know that that's only 2 months away, but to launch without an Easter egg or an actual map which does rounds, yikes.
No dancing zombies?
No nothing. No nothing. It's just, you do Outbreak, you do these little tasks. Well, like, okay, so the premise of the new zombies is you start in Stalingrad, and then you go through these portals and do these little tasks, and then after doing these little tasks, and when I say little, they are minuscule tasks. Like, you literally have to go through a portal, collect 5 ruins 3 times to then bring back to these statues, and then you get teleported back into Stalingrad, and then it's round 2. And then you go to, say, another location, say like Shinonuma. You'll go through a portal to go to Shinonuma, and then you'll follow this little head around like 10 seconds, 20 seconds around the map, and then you'll get teleported back, and then it'll be round 3. And it's really pointless. It just looks pointless. Like, it doesn't look like zombies. It just, the way that it looks is, it's yucko.
It's yucko.
It is yucko. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, and the multiplayer just looks like Cold War. It's just Cold War, just reskinned with World War II guns. And I don't know what they done, but it's clearly, I don't know. It's not, in my opinion, it's not COD. It's just a reskinned Cold War. That's all it is. It's like that they got lazier and lazier and just thought, people's going to buy it no matter what we do, so let's just do this.
That's not good, though.
No, but that's the level of like what some AAA games do and what some big companies do, whereas with indie games, you look at Binding of Isaac, they added in a load of mods from the community. You look at like Sunhaven takes requests, from the community. You look at Unpacking, like how well that's, in my opinion, is doing because of the simplicity of it. And sometimes like the simpler the game, the more fun you have. You look at like Valheim took the game and world by storm, and it's an indie company. Stardew Valley took the game and world by storm, indie company. It's just like indie companies now are better, and I know that there's a lot of people who moan at indie companies, but without indie games, we would only get, because I think I said this to you the other day, that if indie companies, it might have been Axu, but if indie companies stop, we would only get 10 game releases a year.
Yeah, you did tell me that. And it's true. And it would be 10 incomplete releases.
Yeah, it would be 10 games which you have to wait 6 months to play. Because we would always get, obviously, the FIFAs and the Call of Duties every year. But that would be the only thing which you could guarantee which you would get every year, would be FIFA or Call of Duty. And again, both games are just reskinned every year, just with new stuff added in. Because you look at FIFA games, they're just reskinned games. Like, sure, the players get older or they move to different clubs, like, inside like football. but it's just reskinned every year. I don't know whether it adds anything to it, but everyone goes nuts for it. And I don't get it. I don't get what the whole nuts thing is with Call of Duty and FIFA, or where everyone's like, oh, same game, you know, like, oh, different title, same game. Like, but then they buy it next year and say the same thing. They'd be like, oh, I got bored after 4 days of playing it. Then buy indie
Yeah.
games. There's more content in Binding of Isaac than what there is in Call of Duty. I'm sorry, but there is. That's going to annoy some people, but in my opinion, there is more content in an indie title sometimes than what there is in a AAA title.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm all for indie games. I really am all for. Like, I like seeing an indie game say like nobody takes a chance, because Unravel, nobody took a chance on Unravel 1. And it was like, you know, this small little indie game company, and then it done really well, and I love all that it done really well. What I don't love is that EA took a chance on it, and Unravel 2 was complete rubbish, in my opinion. But it's just like, I love when indie games get it so perfectly right. Like, they know what gamers want.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying indie games for a while. I think you really got me into them because back in my PlayStation days, may they rest in peace, I I was like very against indie games. It was like I'd be looking for a game to play. I was like, no, I don't want to play a little indie game. I don't want to play anything indie. I want the big game. I want the AAA title. I want the Uncharted, the like GTAs, the big, big, big games. No little indies. And then, but like you really got me into indie games, I think, and kind of showed me like you opened up this like whole new world for me of games, and that it's not like just I think I thought that they were all just like platformer games or something, and they're not. Like there's a whole world, and like they're all different, and I've really enjoyed playing. I've probably played more, well, I definitely have played more indie games this year than any other big title game.
Oh, I think 100%, yeah. But see, I feel as if, like, because it's interesting all that you said of that, you thought that all of them were just platform games, because I think that's what a lot of people think, where they're like, oh, indie games, oh, that's just platforming, you know, that's just like rip-offs of Mario or like Rayman or like Sonic or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But no, like, there's a lot to offer with indie games. Like, there's so many different genres now inside the indie game. It's not just, you know, because you get like, there's now like farming, you know, you got Stardew Valley, you got Sunhaven, there's that the grape game, Garden Stories.
Yeah, cute grape game.
Yeah, cute grape game. That is all it's known now. And that's all, you know, they're indie games. Then you got obviously like Unravel, you got your Limbos, Little Nightmares, probably indie, maybe. Ooh, I don't know about that one. But then you got, you know, like those games where they're like, you know, like, yes, they can be platformy, but they're like horror platform or like puzzly platform. And then you got
So many
your,
puzzle ones.
yeah, and then you got like, say, your true puzzle games, like Zen puzzle games, like Unpacking. Garden Stories is quite. Is it? No, not Garden Stories. That's the game which we just said about. What was that one? Which Gardens Between. That's
Yeah, the
that.
gardens
Yeah,
between.
see, and that's like a puzzle one, because you have to go backwards and forwards to find the right paths and places to put items.
And then true literally puzzle games like Glass Masquerade and Under Leaves.
We were
Those ones
here
are mm-hmm.
because they're like and that's a two-player, you know, like puzzle game. And then you got like your big like kind of like survival like games, say like Valheim, which then comes from a indie like studio. So it doesn't actually come from some big company which you would expect it to come from. No, it comes from this teeny tiny indie studio. And it's just it's fantastic. Like, honestly, today, if you could take anything away from today's podcast, whenever you're hearing this, if it's like year into the future, hello future, I hope that they're still making indie games. But play an indie game. Find an indie game and play it. You'll be surprised if you've never picked up a indie title. Please go to Steam, go to the PlayStation Store, go to the Xbox Store, or go to the Nintendo Switch online store, and find an indie title and play it. You'll be pleasantly surprised.
There's one out there or something out there for everyone. I know that people think that about big games, like, oh, it's such a big game, such a big company. There has to be something for everyone. Indies are the same way, and there's so many of them. There's guaranteed to be something in the indie world out there for everyone.
Yeah, it's not just all about shooting or shooting, you know, because a lot of people who think about like games and stuff are like, oh yeah, that's Call of Duty or oh that's shooting games. There's a
Yeah, those
game
shooty
out
shooty
there
bang
for
bing bangs.
yep, the shooty bing bangs. There's something out there for everyone, and indie offers so much variety for everyone. I just love indie titles. I'm sorry, like, can you tell that I'm just like indie titles.
That's why we're doing this indie episode.
I do want to quickly talk before we finish it. I just want to have a quick little discussion about Elden Ring because they gave us 15 minutes footage.
Yes, tell us.
So Elden Ring, they gave us 15-minute footage, and I don't know how I feel about it now seeing the combat, because it looks like a Dark Souls type game. It kind of feels like a Dark Souls type game, but the combat feels like Sekiro. And I'm not a big fan on Sekiro. It's not...
No.
I don't know whether it's because it's not solely from them and Activision had a part, or whether it's like... I don't know, I just don't like the combat in Sekiro. I don't like that you have, like, I'm a kind of person who plays a Dark Souls game and I will not parry. I hate parrying. But Sekiro, you get punished for not parrying. You have to parry. And I can't parry. I don't know what it is about me, but my brain and my hand movement can't parry. I can't coincide with parrying. But I'm someone who can play Dark Souls 3 without parrying and do it deathless. Just like... So I want them to do I want them so as everyone can play it.
And hopefully it is. I mean, that was 15 minutes. So hopefully, and that's 15 minutes of one person playing, right? Or is it, did they
Done
show
like
a bunch of people?
they showed a well, some people must have died on it or whatnot because they showed like them doing this boss, but they didn't show the actual them killing the boss. They just showed like different techniques of what you can do on bosses using a co-op partner.
Okay.
And they showed like they showed some combat, they showed some gameplay, they showed some run it, like they showed a little bit of everything. But the combat aspect for me is it feels like Sekiro and it looks like Sekiro and it sounds like Sekiro with all the like the noises which Sekiro had. I know that sounds weird to say, like, oh, how can a game sound like another game? But it just looks and feels like Sekiro, and I don't know whether I'm going to get on with it.
I mean, that was 15 minutes. There's still plenty of time for like it to come out, obviously. And I think, I don't know, 15 minutes just seems so short. To me, it seems so short of a time to figure out how the game actually plays. Like, yes, there's going to be similarities because I think all these types of Soulsy, very hard games take from each other. So I think there's going to be a lot of similarities, but I think no one can really know until it comes out and they play it for themselves.
No, I know, like, and I'm trying not to just be like, oh, it feels like Sekiro. But they're like, I don't know. I just want it to be a open world Dark Souls. Like that's kind of that's what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping that it is a little bit because inside some of the combat there was a shield used, and in Sekiro they didn't use shields, and they used magic in there as well. One interesting thing is that these skeletons have just been remapped from all the way from Dark Souls 1, like all the way from Dark Souls 1 to 2 to 3 to Bloodborne, and now to this. They have the same animation, and when you see a skeleton, it does the same animation of where the bones all come up, and then it pats its head. And they've always done that, so they've just it's interesting that they've just used the same animation for skeletons, from their first game all the way to now this, which is fine. I'm completely down with that because it means that it works. If it works, if it works, don't fix. How does that saying go? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and it works. It 100% works. But I just don't want the fighting to be Sekiro. Just please, Elden Ring devs, give us just Dark Souls where I can roll around like an idiot and panic.
Whoever made that original skeleton animation better be making bank.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully. But yeah, but please just let me panic. Let me do my British panic. That's all I ask, because that's how I learn games like Dark Souls. I have to panic. I run around the enemy
Panic
for a long
rolling.
time. Exactly. You panic roll. You can jump on it, which is weird. Anyway, that's my take on Elden Ring. Jumping weird because you've never been able to fully jump in a game of, like, say, From Software. And I just don't want Sekiro to overflow the combat system inside this game, because I feel as if it will ruin it for a lot of players, because a lot of players didn't get on with Sekiro, but they get on with Dark
Yeah.
Souls. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's just, it looks fantastic as well, by the way. The game looks fantastic.
I can't wait to see you play it. It's going to be really interesting when it does come out.
I can't wait to try a Deathless run on it. That's what I can't wait. I can't wait to play it deathless. Oh, and you have a horse. Randomly enough.
Oh.
Like
I say aw, I hate horses, but
like,
cool.
The first like, say, opening minute of the game, there was like, he was having like a little chat, and it was just showing you the world, and then he got on a horse and absolutely leaped off this cliff. I was like, okay, bye horse.
Yeet. Well, that has been our take on indie games and a little bit of news on Elden Ring.
I hope that you enjoyed. Please, like I say, if you are listening to this, pick up an indie title and tell it, and even come back and tell us what indie title you picked up.
Oh, yes, please.
Because we are all about indie titles.
We are.
I bleed indie titles. Yeah, right. Anyway, we are going to go. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope that you have a fantastic 2 weeks, and we'll be back for, I think by the time that we get back, it will be, Pokemon will have been released. So we will have a massive chat about Pokemon.
Yay!
So next Webleedpixels podcast will be a Pokemon special. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We hope that you enjoy your 2 weeks. I've been T.
Envy.
Bye.
Bye.